I have returned. Yes, yes. You guys were asking for it. And by I mean you guys, I mean that one person that subscribed, probably by accident. But we will not speak of that right now because we have a video to film. And this, may I say, was the best movie of the Hunger Games. It truly was. Truly. And I'm not just talking about the arena, the outfits, the drama. I'm talking about the characters as well. The characters were so good in the second movie. We need to get started. We need to start talking about it because this is the revolution. Or I mean preparation for the revolution, which is always the most exciting part. Okay, it's always more exciting reading about what happened before everything started. You know, what lit the fire? What sparked the flames? And it was obviously our queen, Katniss, and Senna, because Senna is the best. But we start off with Katniss in her new home. Yes, now that she is a victor, now that she is a winner, she now has a better house. She upgraded. Okay, Peeta too. A lot of people were saying, and by a lot of people I mean that one comment that I got that said that why don't you include Peeta more? I don't want to. I don't find him that much of a compelling character. Okay, I'm sorry. This is Katniss. This is Katniss and the rest. But in this case, it's Katniss, Senna, and some other good characters. Well, you'll find out soon. You'll find them out soon. But we have Katniss in her new house with her mom and her sister. Mother still nameless, sister still Miss Primrose Everdeen. They're in their new home in the Victor's Village because they are victors. Okay, they won. And Miss Katniss still has some trauma about what happened. Like imagine they're like, let's go play bingo, and all of a sudden you're slaughtering everyone and you have to win. Okay, it's not like, oh, I'm just not like other girls, I'm not gonna do it. No, you have to. You have to be slaying everyone in order to win. Why do my bangs look so crooked? I promise you they're not crooked. Anyways, you have to kill everyone. And Miss Katniss, she's still a little fuzzy about that. You know, she still has some bad dreams, but we don't have time for that because she doesn't like all the attention that she's getting now that she is Miss Victor, Miss two-time, well, not two-time Victor, Miss double Victor, because she won with Peeta. I don't know how you would say it. So now Snow is like, bitch, you better make people think that you like this boy. You better make people think that you love this boy and you didn't do all that shit just to piss me off. And Candace is like, don't worry about it, sir. Don't worry about it. I love him. I love Peeta. Snow ain't being fooled, okay? Snow is everything but a fool. But he comes, he threatens Candace. He's like, you guys better act in love. And Candace is like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, babes. But we all must remember who the real enemy is, and it is age. People who saw young Snow will know what I mean by that, but we don't have time for that. We don't have time for, even though I made 2 slides with young Cornelius Snow, we don't have time to talk about it. We don't have time to talk about the real enemy, which is time and age. Yeah, Katniss kisses Gale. I forgot how that happened while I was trying to remember the movie, because remember, I haven't rewatched these in more than 10 years. So as I was trying to remember everything, I remember that they kissed, but I don't remember why they kissed. But I also remember Gale got injured. So in my mind, like, he got injured and then Katniss was like, aw, you're hurt, kiss, smooch. But I don't know if that really happened. I also think they were in the forest and he broke his leg and that's why she kissed him. I honestly don't know, but Gale is injured, boo-hoo, and they kissed. Ew. But now they're going on a Victor's tour. Okay, Katniss and Peeta, they're going on a Victor's tour. Basically, they're going to all the districts and they're being like, we love each other, yay! I love my mans, thank you to my mans. But no one is believing them. They're giving stale, they're giving blah, they're not giving gut healthy sourdough bread from Malark Bakeries. No, sir. They're giving stale. And everyone's looking at Katniss kind of like side-eyeing because we all believe in you. We all think you're the Mockingjay, but why are you giving capital propaganda right now? Side-eye, bombastic side-eye, as some might say. But in one of their, I think this was in District 10, because I remember they went to District 10 and they kind of had this monument of Rue or something for Rue. I think it's a statue, I'm not sure. And Katniss, when she sees it, she's like, trauma. It's bringing me back to looking at this little girl who died in my arms. I don't want this, I don't want this. And then all of a sudden someone from the district is like, 3 finger salute, sign of the revolution. The peacekeepers are not liking that. And if you're asking who the peacekeepers are, they're basically the police. They're basically the ICE of this universe, and we don't like them, obviously. We've never liked them. But someone in the crowd is like, we stand with you, Katniss, yes. And the peacekeepers are like, you spoke, babes. You spoke right now. Clap. Not really a good time to be outside. I would have stayed inside, but you know. But we don't have time to think about that because new person entering the block, the new game maker, which I can't really remember his name. I think his name is Cornelius, but that's wrong because that's Snow's first name. Plutarch. His name is Plutarch. Oh my god, I just remembered. Plutarch. Plutarch something. Okay, he's the new game maker. Because if you guys remember in the first movie, by the end, the game maker, he ate some berries and he had... And you know, he didn't have enough fiber in his diet, so but Plutarch is the new game maker and he's in charge of the 75th Hunger Games, and they're gonna spice things up. Why are they gonna spice things up? Because Snow is out there. He's looking at the districts and he's like, they kind of like Miss Katniss a little too much. She's kind of like an idol right now in the districts, and as we all know, Snow likes being the only idol. And as we all know, Snow does not like side ponytails. He does not like the side braid. And everyone in all the districts, even in Panem today, Panem tomorrow, Panem likes wearing side braids. And if you guys remember from the first movie, that was Katniss's signature hairdo. That was Katniss's signature hairdo. And Snow is not having it. He's not a fan of the side braids. He thinks that's so... When is this? I don't know when this is based off of. That's so 1800s. I don't know when these movies are based on, okay? But he just does not like it. But he just does not like it. He doesn't think it's fashion enough. So he's like, she gotta go. She gotta go, babes. And this side braid, it gotta go too. He's not standing with it. He doesn't like it. So what does he do? Now the 75th Hunger Games, instead of picking from the population, instead of random kids getting executed, he's like, no babes, all of the previous victors are gonna be re-entered and we're gonna see how this shit goes. We're gonna spice things up. But what's the issue here? Katniss is the only female victor from District 12. So Miss Girlie's bound. Like she's gonna go, yes or yes. And I also can't remember how it was done, but I remember that Peeta and Haymitch, which I completely forgot to put in my first presentation, they're the 2 male victors, and Peeta gets placed into the Hunger Games, but in my mind, Haymitch volunteered, so I don't know why Peeta went. But Peeta ends up going. So Peeta and Katniss are again in the games. I don't know why Haymitch didn't go. Maybe he was picked. And then Peeta volunteered. But in my mind, Haymitch volunteered. So maybe they just didn't want him to go because he was too old. But then we have an old lady later, also like in the game. So I have no idea why Haymitch wasn't there. We'll find out when I see the movies again. But now we are in the display section of the games. Basically when all the tributes kind of get dressed up so everyone can see them. Katniss and Peeta again, they are on fire. Cinna's like, this is my second opportunity to prove that I am the best stylist. And he is. No one else competed, okay? It was him competing against himself because everyone else saw him and they were like, Imagine Vivienne Westwood. That is Cinna. That is Cinna in this universe. He is Vivienne Westwood and everyone respects him, okay? They hear his name and they're like, iconic diva. We can never compete. Yeah, but these outfits, honestly, I think they were much better than the first games. And in my mind, if this was in modern times, Cinna would 100% be doing the glambot thing on Katniss and Peeta. 100%. While I was drafting up this presentation, I just kept on imagining Cinna like, stand there babes and do a little something with the fire and making the slow-mo. Oh, you know they would be trending on TikTok, bitch, okay? You know those outfits. Anyways, we're not here to talk about Katniss's face card. We're here to talk about the other previous victors that have been placed again in the Hunger Games because they have previously won the Hunger Games and they and now we are competing again with the previous victors. Yes, they are now here, and we have some honorable mentions. I don't remember their names, but I'm just gonna refer to them brother and sister. Yes, I don't know if this was a coincidence that they were both re-picked, or if they both volunteered and they were like, yes, I'm gonna kill my brother, because as you guys remember, there can only be one victor. And I can't really imagine a situation where my brother volunteers and then I'm like, yes, I volunteer too. Let me kill my brother. What's wrong with it? What's wrong if you see that your brother got elected, you just don't volunteer yourself unless they had the extremely rare chance that both brother and sister were elected. Like that kind of sucks. But I don't really know what happened. Then we have Mags. I do remember her name. She's the old lady that competed. She's competing next to Finnick. This man. They're from the same district. They're from the fishing district. I don't know what number it is, but it's cute, okay? I like her. I like Mags. We all love Mags, okay? She's really cute. She's quirky. And then we have Sharp Teeth Girl. We're gonna call her Shark Girl. Apparently she sharpened her teeth to like rip out people's throats and win, which honestly, diva. So diva of her, okay? I really think she got inspired by vampires. I can imagine her being like that emo vampire goth kid in high school. 100%, 100%. And then she grew up and she was like, I gotta compete in the Hunger Games. Let me be quirky about it. Let me be quirky, let me be cool. And honestly, I would have been her fan. If I would have been in this universe and she popped up on my screen, 100% a fan. 100%. Then we have Joanna. Another boss babe. Another boss babe. I love her. Okay, Joanna, she does not give a fuck. Okay, she's not over here. She is not PR trained and she will never be PR trained and she does not want to be PR trained. She said PR my ass. PR is up my ass and I like it to be up there because she does not care. Okay, she's saying whatever whenever she wants. And honestly, I love it. I love that for her. Then we have these two, which kind of are like the nerds. I think his name is Beady or Bede. I think Beanie, something like that. And they're kind of like the really smart people. They're from the smart district. Yes, there is a district for smart people. And that kind of got me thinking, what happens if you're born in that district and you're just dumb? Yeah, but they're both really smart and they make really good allies. Keep that in mind for later. Then we have this girl. I don't remember her name. But I remember that when I was a kid and I saw them on screen, I was like, oh, they're drug addicts, like the drug dealers or something. And later on, I found out that they were. So that makes me believe that there are drugs in this universe. There are still like heavy drugs. And that makes me believe that there are like narcos in this universe. So that's why I included her. I don't really think she has like a strong impact. I don't even think I included her again in the presentation, but I just wanted to say that, so. But we don't have time for that. We don't really have time to talk about drug dealers in this universe because it is time for TV. And if you guys all remember this man, the presenter, the Jimmy Kimmel wannabe, yes, Mr. Bluehead Man, he's eating it up. He's over there interviewing people. He's asking all the right questions. Like, why would a brother and sister compete simultaneously if they know only one can survive, unless they hate each other? But he also interviews Katniss and Peeta, and Peeta's like, oh, stop guys, stop! Katniss is pregnant. It's my baby. I'm the father. I am the father. And Katniss is like, yes, yes. He put a sourdough loaf inside of me. It's a Malark bakery bun. Honestly, great marketing. Great marketing, okay? You know, if this were modern times, Malark bakeries would have the best marketing, okay? But all the audience is like, oh my god, she's pregnant, it's a healthy sourdough baby. They were like, cut off the games. But they were like, no. So Jimmy Kimmel was like, no, the games will continue, shut up. Silence. You guys are wondering why I keep on looking down. I have the presentation on my iPad because I can't remember all the slides I did, but they're here so I can narrate properly. But now we don't have time to talk about the good healthy sourdough baby. we need to train again. Remember the first movie when they were training? Yes. Well, now they are training again. And Miss Katniss, she's showing off her bow and arrow skills. Everyone's like, oh my god, she needs to be our ally. We need to have an ally. But she's like, I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want allies. I don't trust anyone. And you can't blame her. Remember what happened to Rue? Yeah, I too would not want any allies if I had to see a child. A 12-year-old child. Yeah, she's struggling, but we can understand, okay? But then she sees Mags, the old lady, she's like, maybe I do want an ally. And I think she also becomes friends with Beetee, because I remember her also wanting to be allies with him. She did not want to be ally of the brother and sister because they're crazy. Bitches be crazy. But then it's time for the presentation where they have to show off their skills so they can get like a score. And remember in the first movie? Katniss was the GOAT. They were like, she's amazing, oh my god, we love her, she slayed. But right now, like what can she do? What can she do to top that? Like they didn't bring any pigs inside. She's like, there's no pigs to shoot. And I can't really remember what she did, but it must have been good. Because I think she got a good score. I actually don't even remember what her score was. But that doesn't really matter because it's time for the games. And before she's ready to be shot up into the games, because I remember there's like an elevator. Like they go in, no, I don't think it was an elevator. It was like a tunnel. I don't know what it was. But they were like shot up into the arena. And before it was time for her to get shot up into the arena by this cannon, Mr. Senna walks up to her and is like, you look amazing, babes. But you know what? That outfit is missing. You know what I can add to that outfit? Grabs in his pocket, takes out the Mockingjay pen, puts it on her, ready for her to slay. And he kind of says something mysterious. Something that has been said to her before that I forgot to mention. He says to her, remember who the real enemy is. It was said previously by Haymitch, and now it is said again, but she doesn't think much about it. She doesn't think much about it. She's like, I'm gonna go into an arena. I can't be thinking about these things. I need to go into the tunnel. She steps into the tunnel. She steps into the cannon. She's ready to be shot up. 2 peacekeepers walk in. Execute Cinna. Execute Cinna. Why do they do this to me? Why do they do this to me? The best character gets executed like 30 minutes into the movie. No. He's such a good character. Okay, and I'm gonna say this again. I believe Cinna was the reason that later on Katniss has so much compassion for the people in the capital, because Cinna was born and raised in the capital, and Katniss got to see that human side of people living in the capital, and not everybody liked it. Okay, Cinna was like, yeah, I live here, but I can't really say anything about it. I can't change anything about it. I don't want to watch the games. I don't even want to be involved in the games. Him being involved in the games was a sign of protest, because all the outfits he always gave Katniss were basically to help her protest the games silently and fashionably. We don't have time to talk about Cinna's genius because we're in the games. And like always, Peeta is dying. For the people that were asking, why didn't you mention Peeta more? This is why. This man is always dying, okay? And there's gonna be multiple instances in this presentation where this man is almost dead and everyone has to risk their lives to save him. Oh my god, pisses me off. He hit the force field or something. He got blasted back. And Katniss is allied with Finnick. We love Finnick. Finnick stands. And now he needs to be resuscitated. Oh my god. This boy pisses me off. Honestly, I was never a fan, and I'm still not a fan. Okay, maybe when I rewatch these movies, maybe I'll become a fan. But by memory, this man pisses me off. Okay, you're telling me someone needs to revive you like 10 minutes into the game? Boy, just get out. Just get out. Accept your fate, okay? Stop being a nuisance. Anyway, the arena is basically shaped like a clock, and every single hour like a new threat is thrown their way. I can't remember what the threats were. I do remember there were monkeys and there was like fog or something. Another important thing is that Katniss has allies. She has Joanna, the slayest of the allies, the slay. She has Peeta. Sadly, Sadly. I feel like she would have avoided so much. She has Finnick. She has Megs. She has Beatty. And she has Beatty's friend that's from the same district, which is not really that important, but she does discover that the arena is a clock, so we have to give her that honorable mention. We have to give credit where credit is due, and Miss Girly was so smart about it. Okay, Megs also sadly passed away really soon, and this is the moment that pisses me off. Okay, she passes away and no one does anything. Like, just get rid of PETA, keep Megs. Yeah, but I do remember that there was also like some birds in part of the threats. Like Snow, not Snow, but like the game maker also sent in some birds that were basically like Rue's voice and kind of mocking Katniss, and they were mockingbirds. They were mockingbirds and they were like mocking Katniss like, oh, why did you let me die? I'm dead because of your fault. Honestly, very sad, very sad. That was mental torment for Katniss, but we don't have time to talk about that. Now Katniss, she spent some time in the arena. And she spent some time around these people that are her allies. And she's kind of getting suspicious of them. She never really liked Mr. Finnick. He always seemed too confident, too cocky, too bold. And the same thing about Joanna. She always seemed like someone that was very loud, very outspoken. And as you know, Katniss, she's very demure, calm, collected. And she's like, I don't like these allies. And most importantly, I don't trust them around my boy PETA. Okay, I don't trust them. And she's over there whispering to PETA like, we gotta go. We gotta go, Bags. And PETA's like, no. Chill, calm down. Let's stay. Let's stay and enjoy the weather. Let's stay and enjoy the water. They're eating fish. Okay, she's like, let's stay here. And Candace is like, we gotta go, babes. I think the moment these people find out there are not a lot of tributes left, they're gonna look at us, eliminate us, okay? She's like, let's leave. But one important thing that happens right now is that, remember the monkeys I mentioned? Yeah, they come into importance right now. Because remember what I said, that PETA was constantly dying? Well, now that they're being followed by monkeys, and then this other random tribute stands in front of PETA so the monkey can eliminate her and not PETA. Like, this is what I'm telling you. There was an innocent person dead because of this man? Oh, hell no. Hell no. For what? What was the reason? And I know I'm gonna get some hate because of that, but like, If I was Candace's sister or mother and I was watching this on TV, I would have been pissed off. Like, you're telling me this boy needs so much saving. Just let Haymitch in the games. Just let Haymitch. He can take care of himself. I feel like you can put Haymitch in the arena with like 70 bottles of liquor, make him drunk 24/7, and he would still outperform PETA. He would still outperform PETA being drunk as a skunk. But no, let PETA in the game. You want Katniss to live? Do not participate. Leave. Okay, that is how you get Katniss to win. Do not participate, babes. But anyways, a tribute down, PETA alive. But then Beatty, our intelligent man, I'm still not sure if his name is Beatty, I'm sorry if it's not. He gets the bright idea that, remember that I said the arena's a clock? Well, every hour, not only do they have another threat, but there's this tree in the distance that kind of marks the hour, and lightning hits it. So like if it's 3 o'clock, lightning is shattering that tree. I don't know why they included it, but you're gonna see why they included it later. Put a pin on that. Put a pin on that. We have 2 pins right now. I hope you remember what the other pin was, because there will be an exam portion at the end and I expect for you guys to get a good score, okay? He's like, okay, electricity, water, other tributes are alive, let's go. Put a cable around that tree, put that tree in the water, so when other tributes come into the water, because that's the only water that's drinkable, so when other tributes come to get some water, they'll be electrified. And we can win easily, we can get out of here. But Candace is like, I like the idea, but what do you mean we can get out of here? Because just because the other tributes are dead that means we're gonna have to start killing each other, which means I gotta go with Peeta. But she's like, fine, I'll do the electric tree, don't worry about it. But she's kind of wary, and she's like, Peeta's gonna go with me, we're gonna go put on the cable. But Beatty's like, no, you're not going with Peeta, you're going with Joanna. And Joanna and Katniss, oh no. I feel like if you were to let Katniss make a list of the people she most hates, Joanna would have been number one, okay? She did not like Joanna from the moment they met. And she's like, now I gotta go with her, and I need to leave Peeta behind. Oh no, she does not like this idea. She does not like this idea, but what else can she do? Peeta's like, don't worry about it, babes. Don't worry about it. Trust me. I can stay alive. Katniss just side-eyed Peeta at that moment. She was like, shut up, bitch. I know that she said that mentally. Probably not out loud, because this is a PG-13 movie. But mentally she was like, this bitch is gonna be dead when I come back. But she goes with Joanna. They go into the tree to put the cable. And as they're coming back, what is that? A scream? Is that Peeta? Peeta! Peeta! Katniss starts screaming. She starts panicking. She heard a scream. That could be Peeta. They could be killing Peeta right now as she went to go put a cable around the tree. She starts running. But all of a sudden, what is that? What is that behind her? Joanna tackles her to the floor. She's like, Miss Joanna, babes, I will kill you right now. But Joanna's like, shh. Have a secret. Can you keep it? Are you taking this one to the grave, babes? Rips off the tracker from her arm, and she's like, what are you doing? And then Katniss sees there are other tributes kind of hiding amongst the rocks. So Joanna's like, shut up, babes. Joanna throws a rock, I think. Joanna kind of throws a rock at one of the tributes and then starts running. The tributes go after her. Katniss is still hidden in between like the rocks or the grass, I forgot, but she's hidden. And then she's like, what the fuck is going on? What is going on? Why did this girl rip off my tracker, not kill me, distract the other tributes that wanted to end me? What is going on? And then as she's over there, she's panicking amongst the grass. And then what does she see over there? Who's calling out her name? Finnick. Finnick. She does not trust Finnick either. She trusts him more than she trusts Joanna, but she's still a little weary about him. She's still a little fuzzy about him. But all of a sudden, as she's pointing her bow and arrow at Finnick, what does he say? Remember what I asked you to put a pin on? Remember who the real enemy is. He's not fighting her. He has his knife in hand. But he's like, well, babes, remember who the real enemy is? It's not me. I ain't old, bitch. She remembers what Cinna told her. She remembers what Haymitch told her. She remembers now all the weird things that have been going on. First of all, people saving Peeta left and right. Okay, she knows she saves Peeta, but not everyone else. Like, this is a competition, babes. This is competition, and people come here to kill the rest, not give CPR, not jump in front of them to be ended by a monkey. What is going on? I remember that Cinna gave her the pin. She's like, why the fuck would Cinna risk his life to just give me a pin? Yes, I love this pin, and yes, it's very symbolic to her, but like, he didn't have to be doing all of that. Also, why the hell did Joanna remove her tracker and not do anything to her? Like, things are just getting way too weird. But at that moment, she has a spark. Miss Katniss thinks about everything. She thinks, how can I get out of here? Because remember, even if she kills everyone else and it's only her and Peeta left alive, still only one of them can live, okay? And Katniss knows Peeta's not gonna want for her to let him leave while she's gone. You know, like, Peeta wants Katniss to be alive and Katniss wants Peeta to be alive. So even if they are the last two people alive, it's not really gonna work out for either of them. So Katniss is like, okay, let me grab my little bow and arrow, wrap that little wire around it, wrap it around the tree, and let me shoot the force fields. Because one thing I forgot to mention is that this force field is kind of like dome shaped. So if she shoots the force field, it kind of falls. And with no force field, people can just leave. And that's kind of what she was thinking. Like, I'll shoot it, I'll find Peeta, and we'll skirt out of here. Yes, we'll basically be fugitives. But now that I'm thinking about it, like, yes, they'll be fugitives, but probably Snow would have come and killed all her family. So I don't really know why she did that. Like, it makes sense movie-wise, plot-wise, but logically it does not make sense. Because if she was like a rebel, Snow would have just been like, okay, I'm just gonna kill your family. Run away with Peeta, but I'm gonna kill your family, bitch. So it makes no sense. But anyways, the force field is falling. Katniss gets blown away by the blast. She's okay. She has the main character armor. But as she's over there, she's dizzy. She's like, what's going on? What's going on, babes? She sees a little crane hand, like in the arcade, pick her up. Great arcade skills, by the way, to whoever's picking her up, because I could never. And all of a sudden she wakes up. She's in a plane. She's in a plane. She's like, this is first class, babes. This is first class. Do I have a private toilet, or do I have to go to the common toilet? But no, all of a sudden, who does she see? Mr. Game Maker, Plutarch, and Haymitch. They're talking a little too friendly. They're talking a little too buddy-buddy, a little too, I know you, let's catch up, buddy. And she's like, Haymitch, Plutarch. She grabs a knife, gets ready to stab them both, gets ready. Oh, sorry. My light turned off. I had to fix that. Anyways, she goes up with the knife. She's like, I'm gonna kill you, babes. What did you do to Peeta? What's Peeta? She goes for the stab, and then all of a sudden, someone comes up behind her and knocks her out. Miss Girl keeps on getting knocked out, but not knocked up. She wakes up again. Who's there? Gale. Thank God she wasn't knocked up. No, that sounded wrong. No, ew. Anyways, Gale's there. And she's like, Gale, what are you doing here? Gale's probably never even seen a plane, okay? Poverty-stricken man, okay? He's like, oh, sorry, Katniss. Remember your house? Blown up. Remember District 12? Blown up. I survived. I saved your family, don't worry. Primrose Everdeen, she's safe. Your mom too. My family too. Malark Bakeries, not so much. He wasn't a big fan of sourdough bread, okay? From the start, he was kind of sourdough bread skeptical. He preferred yeast. Anyways, obviously Katniss is heartbroken. Not only is her family gone, well, not really, like everyone she knew, not only are her friends gone back from her district gone, her house gone, everything she knew in life gone, Peeta is gone, she's newly traumatized, and she's still kind of suspicious of Mr. Plutarch, even though they're like, oh, don't worry, Plutarch is good, Plutarch helped save all of you. And then all of a sudden, Gale is like, you were what we were trying to say from the beginning. And she's like, what do you mean? You were trying to save. And Gale is like, we've been planning the revolution for months, babe. Did you not get the email? And Katniss was like, no, I did not get an email. And Gale was like, oops, sorry. Must have forwarded to someone else. But yeah, babes, this is a revolution, and you are the mocking slay. And Katniss is like, I don't want to be the mocking slay. She did not have a choice. She did not have a choice in this because look at that face card. She's always like, I don't want to be the mocking slay. Stop it. Stop it, I'm not the mocking slay. Miss Girl. Senna knew what he was doing. Okay, Mr. Senna knew. And he still knows. R.I.P. Senna. But yeah, that's basically the second movie. I am well aware I can have more incorrect things about this movie than I did for the first one, because I think I remember the first one better than the second one, even though I liked the second movie better. I don't know, I think the first one was more memorable to me. But yeah, this is my favorite movie. The plot was great. I love the little clock thing, the little every hour something happens. Amazing. Still don't like Peeta though. Still didn't like Gale. Don't like any of them. Honestly, for me, the best outcome out of all the series would have been for Candace to come out and her and Joanna to be a thing. That is what I wanted. That is what I wanted. I wanted it to end with a gay parade and Candace and Joanna being on one of those cars like like that's what I wanted, but it didn't happen. But you want to see what happened, babes? Stay tuned, because soon I will be publishing the last 2 movies. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.